In this video, I'm going to be explaining two things. Number one, why God brought you down here to earth. And number two, why God kept you alive up till today. According to God in the Bible, God said that, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." This can be very funny, right? Because it's kind of confusing. How would man rule over animals? Right now, in the modern times, we all have our jobs. Some of us are working in companies, some of us are working as entrepreneurs, some of us are working as an artisan, like a skilled man or a skilled laborer or something like that. Why did God actually say that man should rule over animals? And was God actually referring to you in particular? Well, I would say yes, God was actually referring to you and I. Now you need to understand something, that there is difference between language and dialect. Everything God said in the Bible was with language, not with dialect. Let me quickly explain the difference between language and dialect for you so that you're able to understand what God meant by rule over animals. Language is just simply what you know or what you understand based on your thought process and your skill, while dialect is just words that are used between people of a particular region. The definition I gave you was just my own personal definition. It's not a dictionary meaning or whatever. For example, when you pay attention throughout the Bible, God is always using the word sheep, goats, dogs, and others like that to communicate with the children of Israel. Why? Because their occupation was actually shepherd. They were shepherds, the Israelites, from generation to generation. And I got to know this when the children of Jacob went to visit Pharaoh during the time that Joseph actually brought all of them down to Egypt. What Pharaoh asked them was, "What is your occupation?" And the reason why I actually asked that question, it was because he wants to know how he's going to communicate with them. And they said, "We are shepherds, both we and our fathers." And that is why God had to communicate with them in that language of shepherds. The same thing as Jesus also. When Jesus actually met Peter, Peter was a fisherman, right? And what God used to communicate with Peter was this: "I will make you fisher of men." And the same thing applies to you. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, when God actually said, "Rule over animals." God wasn't really saying that man should actually rule over animals directly, but was actually saying indirectly that he should rule over the land, the seas, and the sky. For example, when God actually made a covenant with Abraham, what God promised Abraham was a land, that is a territory. And the same thing actually applies to you. We on earth has the responsibility to either rule over the land, or either the seas, or the sky. Every occupation on earth right now is based on these three territories. You are either working on the land, or you are either working on the sky, or you are either working in the sea or on the sea, depending on what particular area of job you're doing. And in one word, the major reason why God actually wants you to work in one of these territories is just for one simple thing, and that is the same reason why God actually kept you alive, which is to serve the public. And what serving the public doesn't mean serving people alone. Let me explain that better. What public means to God is not just people. Though in our modern politics and our democracies, what public means to us humans generally is just people. But what public means to God, according to Genesis chapter 1, in the creation story, what public means to God is plants, animals, and people. Meaning that everything you do, you should do in service of these three entities. And at the same time, it is very important for you to know that serving God is the same thing as serving people. You cannot serve God without serving people. People are very important. There's nothing you can do without people. And that is the major reason why God kept you alive. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.